Oaken Tower isn't the prettiest game on Steam. It's not the first auto battler I've ever played. Hell, it's not even doing anything remotely new in the genre. So why can't I stop playing it? I'm already 40 hours in and in master rank. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Is It Worth Playing? Today I'm reviewing Oaken Tower. This is an auto battler, asynchronous multiplayer type of game. I'm going to be showing you some gameplay, giving you an overview on what to expect, the good, the bad, and ultimately if I recommend this game and to who. So let's get started. There's no story here, but the overall tone and setting is pretty light. It's kind of like medieval with magical elements. For the majority of the game, you'll be playing either casual or ranked mode. In these modes, you're going to be buying, organizing, and upgrading items in your inventory and placing them in your tower. You'll then leave the shop and fight a random opponent's tower snapshot according to the current day that you're on. You'll keep repeating until you win 10 matches or lose all of your hard points. Then either play endless mode or boot up another run. As usual, if you're looking for more gameplay, you can find all of my Let's Plays for all the games I review on the Mobby vs Games 2 channel in the description below. Same goes for our Twitch live streams. Alright, let's deep dive into more of the gameplay. First of all, casual and ranked. With casual, you can just, it's the same sort of thing. You go in, you buy, you sell, you fight, and then you either win 10 or lose all your hearts. The point of casual is you want to go up or down your elo/MMR points. So you basically want to go here for just fun builds, trying things out. For the ranked, in the ranked, it's exactly the difference there. You just go into the different sorts of elos. The higher up you go, the more likely you are to face people around your sort of level. Meaning in casual, you might come across a lot of people who are also doing fun experimental builds. But in ranked, you're going to find people doing lots of really good meta stuff. So when you start a run, whether it's casual or ranked, you have different perks to start with. When you first open up the game with nothing unlocked, you have 4 different perks. When you start a run, it'll randomly choose from these perks. Now, these perks can give you more money, more rerolls, start you with an item, give you a certain slot. For example, oh, you have a flame slot. You put a flame item in there, it's going to do, or any item in there, it's going to give it 1 more plus flame and that sort of things. Also, when you start a run, you can activate different packs. Currently, at the point of this review, there are 10 different packs. Now, you can think of these like card packs, item packs. So you can pretty much have a minimum of 8 and maximum of all of them up to 10. You definitely do get a benefit from playing, with less of them, so you can see more of the certain sort of synergies that you want. But playing 9 or 10 is just for more variety and fun if you want to add more. But you get stuff like a chaotic pack. Arcane, dragon packs, crystal packs, and basically all of these are, it'll check or make sure that you don't find these specific items in the run. So different perks, different packs, ranked and casual. Let's talk about the battling itself. This is an auto battler, meaning you set up your configuration and then you basically watch it go against other enemies. Now, how it works here is all of your items have a cooldown. For example, 2 seconds, it'll activate. And when it activates, it'll do lots of different sorts of things, primarily damage, right? So you have basic stuff that does like weapon damage to attack your opponent's HP, flame damage, which ticks every second, but it gets sort of negated a little bit by shield. You have poison, which it does damage over time as well as flame, except it's slower, but it goes through poison. You have shock damage, where every time it ticks down, it does a very specific flat damage, which you can increase over time depending on the items you use. And one of my favorites is the bleed sort of thing, where you can apply it on your opponents, and now every sort of weapon attack does extra damage according to that bleed. In the battle itself, you also have different special tiles. I mentioned that a little bit, with your starting perks, or maybe you can get some other ways to do it, but maybe in this specific slot, you can get a duplicate item next time you enter the shop, that sort of thing. Also in this game, you have the different battle duration. So it doesn't just go on forever. Basically, you can go at regular speed or 2x speed. I recommend the 2x speed. So you just watch all of the items go. You can see the cooldowns. You can see all of the different animations, sword swinging, flames being thrown across the room, shields activating left and right, then someone's going to die. But if it takes too long, everyone will start taking tick damage. 1, 2, 8, 16, 32. It just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. So the 100% there is going to be a winner, and that's pretty much how the battles work. You have no input there. You just set it up and then you watch it go. Before you do start a battle, you can see what their most prominent sort of item is, so you can kind of, you know, it doesn't really help that much because you are doing what you have to do on your board, but it's kind of nice to see that's their name, that's their rank, and that is the specific sort of strategy they're working towards. Now, let's talk about the different items you can find as well. So in the shop, which is the second part of the game, you can find like swords. There were different types, like mace swords, like crystal swords, holy swords for healing, maces, tomes, lots of different support types of support types of items. Ones that give items multicast, ones that reduce cooldown rates, attribute scaling, more fire, more burn, more fire, more bleed. And then you have special different types of stuff. You can duplicate things, potions, like really fun presents you can open up. There's a huge variety of items here, and they're all on all the different packs that you can enable or disable. Now for the shop itself, so the game is once again 2 points: the shop and then the battle, right? So in the shop itself, you have the daily income, which every time you level up using money, you can go ahead and increase the daily income. So all the money, all the items cost money, all the potions, the re-rolling, all the leveling, it costs money, right? You can sell things, buy things. Basically, you have 8 items that you can put on of your tower. It has 8 slots. You're going to be organizing them by just click dragging in different configurations to trigger things. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes an item will say, oh, the item below me will have multicast. The item to the right, I will give it permanent damage, that sort of thing. So you have to, it's not really hard to do it. It's just like, oh, do I have the room? Do I want to put stuff there? That sort of thing. Also, sometimes items can be on sale, which is half off. Sometimes when you roll, especially when you start leveling up, you have a chance to get lucky. Now, these are really fun. You roll, and then boom, everything is on sale. Oh, 3 items are free. Or, oh my God, there's a very, very specific item you can't get unless you get it through a roll. It's same thing as well. When you level up, you have a higher chance of getting these lucky things, and also you have a more HP when you level up, and you have a chance of getting, higher rarities. There's commons, uncommons, there's rares, there's epics, there's legendaries. Also, your inventory is kind of infinite. I've had runs where you've had like thousands and thousands of potions. Luckily, in the past couple of patches, they made it so it's easier to quick organize, store your items, because it got a little crazy later. But yeah, you can also combine 3 of a kind items to make a 1-star, combine a 1-to-1 to make a 2, and these basically scale up the items in different ways. It really depends on like if it's the common or legendaries. Like it can be as simple as, oh, the weapon now does double damage. Instead of doing 2 poison, it's gonna go 4 poison. But sometimes it's like, ooh, extra multicast, or instead of giving 1 item permanent damage, it's gonna give all of the items permanent damage. So it really depends on the stars. You could also get 3-star items. However, these are pretty rare, extremely strong, very, very easy to get every item into a 3-star on really broken runs though. And that's kind of the gameplay loop you're going to be seeing. Let's talk about the good stuff that I like before we go into the bad stuff. So starting with the good, there's a lot of build variety here. You can stick with a theme. I want all poison items, a lot of synergy, all crystal items. I want to make it all neutral items. You can combine different strategies. I want super high defense, but lots of multi-rate with bleed. You can go early scaling items, so you can sort of tank runs. So you can be like tank the first couple of matches. Can be like, I don't think I'm gonna win here. I'm gonna focus on earning money this one. I'm gonna make it so that this item, every time it procs, it's going to increase its own sort of shielding and stuff like that. So you can do early scaling. You can also play for quick wins because the game is very fast. 10 wins, right? So you can go like, okay, I don't want any scaling. I'm going to go pure flat damage. Hopefully I can beat the opponents before they start scaling up. One of my favorites is absolutely the money build though, where you get items where if you crit, you get money. If it activates, it gets money. It's really fun. And then that allows you to just have more sort of options, right? For rolling and leveling up. You can also just really try to get lucky. You can have no sort of synergies at all, but you want to level up as quick as possible. Then boom, your legendary that you get later will dictate your build. You can also high roll lots of different items, because sometimes when you roll and get the lucky roll, one of the cool ones is, instead of giving you like sales or something, it's like, oh, we have a tailored build for you. So you can go ahead and purchase every single item, and it really helps for that. You can also play for endless mode. After you win your 10 matches, you can play endless, where you go against other players who also go endless. And they just added a cool thing where if you play endless, you can increase your MMR a little bit more. However, if you lose before you hit a certain endless sort of ranking there, or stage, then you lose the 15. So you can either get 10, get like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins, get some elo. If you go endless, it's gonna be a little rough, but you can get a little bit more, that sort of thing. And then you can also play for fighting the Oak and get your high damage record. At the moment, I think my record was 250 million. But basically, yes, you can fight the Oak for fun at the end of any run, win or lose, casual or ranked, at the end of endless, whatever, and you can see how much damage you do against an infinite Oaken Tower shield, Oaken Tower build. And basically, they can't be killed. You just do your damage, and then you're gonna lose to the running out of time, so you can see how much damage you do, right? There's also a decent amount of replayability here. It's very, very casual to test out all sorts of builds without worry in casual mode. Also ranked, you can try against the best builds and go meta. There's also the different perks at the beginning. Remember I said there's 4 you can have to choose from? Well, once you do lots of different stuff in the game, like, oh, win a run, win the 10th battle only using arcane items, win, using, earn get an item to 100 multiplier, that sort of thing, and then you unlock a new perk to get. Now all these perks are fun. Some of them are very weak and crappy, but some of them are really cool. And once you unlock every single perk, you can have something called random perk, where instead of choosing out of the 4, it chooses from the whole pool, which I really like to do. What I really like to do, I don't recommend it if you're trying to do a high elo, but basically unlock all the perks and then enable them all. So it chooses randomly out of like 30 or something like that. Then and then have all the perks go. Instead of 8, I use all 10. So it's complete randomness, and then you just have access to everything. It's a huge just cluster mess of everything. It's really fun. But basically, yes, so unlocking perks, these challenges are really fun too. I hope they add more. I really hope they add a lot more perks and challenges, because it's really cool. Another thing you can do is you can copy, and win or lose, whatever, you can copy your build's seed, and you can stack them up against other people's. So you can actually choose to test them out against, go to Reddit or whatever. You can go to the Oaken Tower thingy, people post their builds. You can grab that, post it against your own seed and fight that. You can do it with your friend's build. Or you can do it with another build you had, so you can test, be like, oh, which one was better? Maybe if I can build towards this one, yeah, it's better than that one. So you can really mess with the seeds and the builds. I think that's really cool. Also, the thing that I love most about this game, it's quick, it is fast, it is the fastest auto battler in terms of how quickly you get into a run, how fast you can watch them go, and how quickly it is to really just go. Huge dopamine hits that are very, very frequent, responsive, details. Like I said, runs are around 10 to 15 minutes once you know what you're doing, even in ranked, and it feels good making builds work. Let's go to the bad stuff. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay, it's not the prettiest game. First glance, I did not like it. I was like, oh, this game looks ugly, it's gross. The only reason I know about this game is I watched a streamer play it who I really like. Let's say Kriparian. He usually plays like the Bazaar and stuff like that, but he had a little section where he played a little Oaken Tower, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch a little bit. Damn it, this game looks fun. So it's not the prettiest game, but here's the deal, it doesn't have to be, but it really helps if a game does, especially with first impressions. High quality auto battlers. It's a high quality battler stuck in an indie sort of look. Once again, it's not a deal breaker, but it's going to be a little tougher to get people into the door if it's not prettier. But that's just one of the quote unquote bad sides about the game. It's definitely a art style that is very retro, sprite based, and it depends on if you like it yourself. But I'll tell you now, if you really don't like it, the game's really good without it. Don't worry about it. Another bad thing about it is extremely volatile runs and matches. Sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do. Sometimes a run is easy. On the very, very first battle of every run, you're either leveling up, grabbing some items that you could hopefully scale, and then you just let it go, and sometimes it's impossible to win. Sometimes no matter what, you're gonna win. It's things are very bullshitty, especially in the high elo, but that's just the nature of these random auto battlers, to be honest. It's just so random. And yeah, speaking of the unrandomness, it's the randomness, it's very unbalanced. The game just came out, and I believe one guy is making it, but he's always taking in feedback. You know, some items are so useless, in my opinion, in any build. The 1-star, 2-star versions are just really garbage. You know, terrible upgrades. There is absolutely a meta if you want to get to the very, very top of the season. Hopefully they do a lot more, they balance things. I would really love it if things get shaken up like a ton every single season. That would be really cool. Also, after hitting high elo around 40 hours in, I've kind of seen it all. You know, I did say there's a lot of fun variety, and there is, but once again, once you've played that many hours, I've seen it all. I'm done. I'm gonna come back every once in a while when new updates are out, because I've hit like master. I don't want to hit grandmaster. It's too much grinding, especially with the bullshitty randomness. So basically you got to be waiting for more updates and variety. So the good news, so once again, the good stuff, lots of variety, good replayability, and it's a fast auto battler. The bad stuff, not pretty, volatile, very unbalanced, and after 40 hours you've seen it all. So let's end the video here. Do I recommend this? Well, I would say if you personally like to bounce around between different auto battlers like me, the Bazaar, Super Auto Pets, Turnbound, Hearthstone's Battlegrounds, then Oaken Tower, I think it's a great one to fit into your rotation. It is so fast to quickly pick up and play. You're not waiting around for other players to play. You don't have to wait for their stupid emotes, them disconnecting or anything. It's just asynchronous snapshot fighting. No timer on your own thinking. You can chillax, have a meal, watch another video. You can always quit and return. Runs are so fast that you really don't care if you lost to completely broken builds, because sometimes you will be having those broken builds too. Yes, it's completely random, but there is a sense of strategy. You know, you can increase your luck, you can increase your chances of winning once you learn the item pool and get the right perks. So overall, who do I recommend the game to? People who play lots of auto battlers. It's high quality where it counts. Variety, fast runs. It does a game that doesn't waste your time. You can always stop anytime you want. You know, it's good replayability too. For your first auto battler too, I would say this one's not bad. It's a fairly cheap, easy to get into. Experimenting is fun, and from what I've seen, you know, there's a small, very niche but core group of people who are really playing this a lot. As of recording, I think it's like 3,000 to 4,000 people playing at once. That's not bad for a random tiny indie game like this. I would stay away from this game if you just aren't into auto battlers. You know, this won't change your mind. The nature of auto battlers is that someone will always destroy you, and not many people are into that. So that's it. That's my thoughts and my review on Oaken Tower. Whether you agree or disagree, I would like to know. Please comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.